A very good morning to you. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton. It's a few weeks or some days before you go to the polls. You know, people are expecting what's happening in terms of elections. There are cases before the courts, and many things are happening during this election season. It's like I'm going to bring you all these live updates as it happens throughout the country. So this morning, Breakfast Club, I'm joined by Rietson Phiri from Zimbabwe African National Congress. He's contesting under 112 in Ncube constituency. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Briefly, what is Zimbabwe African National Congress all about?
Zimbabwe African National Congress was a party that was formed in 2019 by Timothy Ncube. I've seen many times his surname is spelled Ncube, but it was a result of an error. Suppose the M stands for Mekatish Ncube, but they made a blunder when they were doing the paperwork. So soon after it was done, and people have been calling him Ncube, but it's supposed to be Timothy Mekatish Ncube.
Many people know about the African National Congress of South Africa, but here we have Zimbabwe African National Congress. Is there any linkage between the ANC in South Africa and this Zimbabwe ANC?
Not as such. I think our president was inspired by ANC. The inspiration, actually, he drew it from ANC. And the other thing, he's our local boy. He was born and bred in Lopengula, Old Lopengula. And I went to Nyamande Primary School and Skhulile High School, where he did his education. And now apparently he's based in SA, where he's a businessman. So he's one guy who was inspired by the South African political front, especially ANC. He drew the inspiration from Nelson Mandela, hence the name ZANC.
Let's speak briefly about the ZANC. What are the visions and values of the ZANC?
Okay. ZANC, our vision is to envision a united and free technologically advanced healthcare and tailor-made to meet the needs of in the indigenous society, as well as a free and improved and digitalized educational system, since we're in the technological age, as well as a democratic society, create a democratic society in which we inherent the freedoms and rights that international law, treaties, covenants, or conventions are truly guaranteed. We are not in so good a state in terms of relating with the outside world. So we want to address that. Then as well as create a corruption-free government. There's so much corruption around in every facet of the economy. As well as creating an economically transformed Zimbabwe. We really need to kickstart Zimbabwe and get Zimbabwe going. So then as well, our ideology is we are socialist Democrats. We believe that governments must be elected directly by the people through a system of regular and free and fair elections. Basically, that's what ZANC is all about in a nutshell.
So people maybe who are watching the show this morning, they want to know who's Rietson Phiri. You want to be a councillor for Ward 12 and under Ncube constituency. Who is Rietson Phiri in terms of political background?
Oh yes, Rietson Phiri is a man that was born and grew up as a boy within the confines of Ncube. I grew up within Ncube and matured and became a man. I'm still within Ncube, but what actually touched me was I felt there's a sort of a call within me. So initially, I was observing in my life during my childhood, even up to today, that people often come for assistance. It could be finances, it could be maybe sending someone maybe into town to do some chores, or maybe assisting the needy or the sick amongst us. And I've helped out about, I've assisted about two or so guys who were confined to wheelchairs. There's one particular guy, due to lack of resources, I was using a wheelbarrow to help out this guy, to transport him to a local clinic to and fro on regular basis. So, but we thank God the local Methodist church actually came through for us and availed a wheelchair. So it's been a trend in my life. I've been more of a helper, but on an individual basis. So I thought to come through and render my assistance and open up my hands and actually offer my broad shoulders to the entire community of Ncube Lopengula. There's a great need. Recently, there was a family that lost one of the family members, and the young man had no papers, identity papers. So they came through and asked for my assistance. So I did all the paperwork. But going forward, we did not get so much joy from the person that was the powers that be that was supposed to bail us out, because the guys were insisting on a paperwork from the school that he went to, and as well as the local councillor. But in that regard, we didn't get any joy. So we had to go as far as the mayor's office, so as to get the assistance. So, but we thank God that he came through for us. We managed to repatriate the body. So it's been a trend, like I said, in my life. People have been coming through for assistance in different areas of their lives. Hence, I thought to avail myself. So I'm coming in as a leader. I'm coming in as a helper. I'm coming in as a servant. I'm not coming in as a politician. There's a vast difference between a politician and a leader. A leader is a visionary. A leader thinks generationally. And a leader as well is so compassionate, is people-oriented. While on the other hand, the opposite is true for a politician. A politician is after occupying an office and that thinking, it does not think beyond 5 years. So it's about occupying, especially the African politics, is about occupying and making sure the next 5 years you cement your position. So they don't have people at heart. Hence the need for leaders. So I'm coming through with a paradigm shift to help the beloved Bulawayo restore its status as a sunshine city, as a city that was one of the cleanest in the entire world.
Yeah, speak of restoration of Bulawayo into becoming the smart city, right? Before you go there, to ask you maybe your vision for Bulawayo. Yes. You come from Ncube, you grew up from Ncube, right?
Yes, yes.
What are problems that are facing people from Ncube and residents of Ncube? What are the problems, major problems that are facing now?
Okay, one of the major problems is where we are staying. Ncube is known for wrong reasons. Where I'm staying, there isn't any, as yet, a neighborhood watch committee. These residential leaders have tried in vain. But I'm thinking even as I come through, I will just lend a hand in that regard so they can actually see through that vision. We have a problem with drug and substance abuse. There's one particular person who works in a psychiatric hospital. Where does it that the guy actually is selling the drugs meant for the mentally challenged? He's selling it as for these guys who consume drugs. He's selling them the tablets. So unfortunately, due to so much corruption in Zimbabwe, nothing has been done. So our youths actually are now victims of the likes of Njengu, the likes of drugs, and the most commonest these days is the crystal meth, which is ravaging the lives of our youths. So we have the issue of drugs, the issue of litter around. There is actually disposal of hampers all over. We have the issue of crime. Crime is so rampant. Then unfortunately with our local police station, they are now selling liquor for whatever reasons, I don't even know, maybe for fundraising purposes. But we have a situation whereby the so-called actually guys on the wrong side of the law are their main customers that side. So they are now immune to being arrested. So we have so much actually to tackle, so many issues to tackle. Then we have the issue of water. Recently they started implementing the water shedding within our area. But before we did not have a problem with water shedding. So I think about 3 or so weeks back they started implementing that one. We were exempted for quite a while as part of Ncube. But now we have an issue of water, and we don't have too many boreholes. But boreholes, actually, water is not fit for consumption. So the outgoing actually person did not make any efforts to avail the water to the public. So that's one of my goals, which is to engage the guys that are involved in distribution of water bowsers so that they come through for us. Water has been an issue, and there's been recently a cholera scourge. So this needs an urgent address so that we don't become victims of cholera.
You know what? There's an issue of roles, right? If we look at our MPs in Zimbabwe and our councillors, yes, they don't seem to know their roles, right? They've seen sometimes the MP doing the roles of a councillor, and the councillor is also doing other roles. Okay. And it doesn't expect a councillor to attend the ZINFA and so on. That's not your role. Okay. In your understanding, what's the role of a councillor?
Yeah, a councillor. Yeah, I really concur with whatever you're saying. A councillor has been relegated to an undertaker or a person who comes and presides over funerals. But if you ask a layman out there, they don't have any clue whatsoever what a councillor, what the role of a councillor entails. But to me, a councillor is, in as much as an MP is comes through and legislates some laws that will govern the government of the day. So likewise, a councillor proposes or spells out certain sorts of rules or makes some certain decisions on behalf of the community, for the betterment of the community. One example I will tell you is the issue that has been a burning issue amongst the citizenry of Bulawayo. We woke up one morning and discovered that there was privatization of beer gardens. So nothing was communicated in that regard. So it was a boardroom decision. But the beer gardens were actually positioned strategically for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons was to, out of the sales of liquor, they used to subsidize the rentals. So these days, actually, the bills are so astronomous. You wonder what they're getting them from. So back then, they used to subsidize and just to cushion each and every person in terms of rentals. We could, out of that, they could actually build roads out of the money that came through from the sales, and as well as build schools, local schools, council schools. So beer gardens were more like a milk that used to give the community, a cow that used to give us milk as a community. But we woke up the one morning and discovered that we have sold the cow. So it was actually left for us to just go to the shops and buy milk on our own, rather than actually relying on the cow that was in the community. So it was so strategic. That one was so strategic. So the flip side to it, you see the issue of corruption. If you are to audit the guys who actually won the tenders, those tenders were not actually advertised concerning as to touching the privatization of those institutions. But you will discover that it's one of those guys who occupy the highest offices in the council. So the guys are busy oiling their hands and at the expense of the community. So they sacrificed the community at the expense of an individual, which is so bad. Then as well, we look at the issue of recreational centers. I remember when we used to grow up, we used to spend most of our time that side. Back then, it used to be dacha and alcohol. That was the main issue. But we were spared from that side, from that thing, because of those recreational areas. But now they are lying dormant. The equipment has been vandalized. There used to be gym equipment, there used to be table tennis equipment, there used to be soccer balls, there used to be darts and everything else. So instead, we were supposed to upgrade and move with the times. And now we don't know what to do as a community. Hence, I put my hand up and came through so as to try and alleviate the challenges that are within not just Ncube, but within Bulawayo as a whole.
Speaking of challenges, one of the challenges that are facing Bulawayo, maybe you can say, is issue of finances. Okay. We can go to issue of revenue collection in Bulawayo. Yes. To say, suppose you are elected as a councillor for Ward 12, what would you do in terms of generating revenue for the city of Bulawayo?
Okay. I was looking at a couple of issues. I think it's high time we engaged the vendors. The number of vendors actually is so pathetic due to economical hardships. But I was thinking if we could actually come up with a system and just encourage those guys, engage them, encourage them to have licenses, workers' licenses. It's one of the ways we can actually raise some revenue. Because at the moment we are in dire straits because of finances. So if we are to engage them, get them licensed, or maybe build some proper structures, just try and accommodate them, like they used to do way back. There used to be strategic markets that were built within our locations. But now we have vendors sprouting all over. So they are trying to make a living, fine, but we need to utilize that. Maybe they can pay up to maybe about $5 per month. Then we will really generate some revenue. Because especially the area of Lopengula, we have maybe about 100 plus vendors. So imagine if you make them pay about $100, $5 for 100 plus, it will come a long way in just cushioning the council coffers.
You spoke about privatization of beer curtains in Bulawayo. Many things have been privatized in Bulawayo. What can you say about your privatization? What's wrong with privatizing some of the things that are there in Bulawayo? Your beer curtains, your centers, your parking, for example. What's wrong with privatization?
I think they tend to benefit individuals at the expense of the community. If ever there was a way, maybe these guys will remit a certain percentage towards council, so as to alleviate the plight of the community. Because at the moment, I'm looking at Bulawayo, I think the last school that was built within our area was Ncube Primary School. It was the last council school that was built. I shudder to think that maybe it could be the last ever school to be built within our area if nothing is done concerning making these guys remit some certain percentage. Because these guys actually are benefiting so much instead of the issue, instead of the setup benefiting the community. It's actually the individuals who are benefiting, which is unfortunate. It's supposed to be the other way around. They're supposed to remit some taxes. And one particular thing, we were in crisis because back then, recently, the guys were trying to just lose Zupco to come through. But they were saying we cannot come through because you need to put your house in order. Try and reclaim that that past terminus that used to be. But unfortunately, that terminus actually now belongs to a former politician. And it's unfortunate. That facility was supposed to benefit the community. So I wouldn't mind if they privatize, but as long as they remit a certain percentage towards council. That's my take on that one.
If you're just joining us, this is the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton, and today I'm joined by Rietson Phiri, Ward 12 aspiring councillor under Zimbabwe African National Congress. You speak about many things, the service delivery, but also Rietson, on the issue of in your manifesto, the issue of alcohol and drug abuse. You know, in Tumbana, there was some drug lord which was found there and arrested. I don't know what happened to her or him, but how will you tackle the issue of drug abuse, in particular for young people? You see the future is going downward. What can you do there in terms of a manifesto?
I think what we need to do, we need to take a holistic approach. We need to engage the community at large, and above all, councillors to avail some land and put up some rehab centers. At least one will do, because I'm looking at the approach these days. They admit them to at Ncube Hospital, which is a psychiatric institution. So instead of actually rehabilitating them, they are drowsing them with the psychiatric drugs. So I think the way forward is to avail some land, build an institution, as well as resuscitate those centers I talked about, recreational centers, build more recreational vocational centers, so as to get them out of the streets. But above all, engage the powers that be. Because at the moment we have issues like the lady you mentioned, the issue concerning that lady. I was making I had a keen interest on the issue. But I discovered from a source, a reliable source, that the lady walked scot-free. He took a phone call from Harare, from what I gather, to release the woman from one of the highest offices. So we have a problem with some of our politicians, some of our ministers. They are supplying drugs, which is unfortunate. So I think if we work on the issue of corruption, work on the issue of government, and be serious with people, I think things will work out fine. Everything will fall into place. But at the moment, some of these guys are playing front, but behind the scenes, there's actually the guys that are in the highest offices that are promoting or that are into business of drugs. So it's a losing battle for us. But in the meanwhile, we can actually try and take them out of the streets, just to try and alleviate the problem of drugs and substance abuse. So once we work on the issue of lawlessness and just unite as one force, we can actually overcome the issue of drugs and substance abuse.
Mr. Phiri, look at our council now. it's been dominantly MTC councils and only now in Gauteng there's ZANC councillor, councillors. Now it's Triple C councillors. As a new party, National African Congress, do you think our people trust, they don't trust new parties or different parties, or our parties now, politics now on Triple C or ZANU-PF?
Yeah, which is unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. Our politics has been, for the past, I could say, 10 years plus, it's been a two-horse race, as it were. But one of the things that is so unfortunate is people tend to vote for names, for party, especially Bulawayo has been known for, previously it was MTC, then MTCT, now it's Triple C. But I call upon the citizens of Bulawayo to look at individuals, vote for potential, not voting for names. The previous past 2 terms for the outgoing actually office bearer in the council level, the person failed us dismally. Everyone was calling for her head, but now I think it's a lesson on our part to just have that paradigm shift and analyze individuals and not just blindly vote for the name of the party. I've often heard people saying if we we get a dog and write and paint it Triple C against certain individuals, the people will obviously vote for that dog. So I've seen the line of thinking in people's lives, and that's so misleading, unfortunately. But we need to vote for potential, not just for parties. Parties have failed us over the years. But for me, I've actually come through and engaged the community to try and take away that mindset. Because they always think they have a certain hatred towards a certain political party. But I think that one, they have to rethink that approach and vote for individuals who have capability, not just the horse that one is riding on. Yeah.
So come on, cast 23, as you go and cast our votes, suppose I'm coming from your constituency and then I see the name Rietson Phiri under Zimbabwe African National Congress. Why should I vote for you? Please convince me and also the viewers at home why should the councillor of Bulawayo?
I have what it takes, I believe, to deliver. From the background I have, from a church background, there's so much engagements I've been into. I've been working with the community on the church front, as well as in the community at large. Hence I decided to come through this time around on the political front. Though I'm not a politician, as it were, but I'm coming through to be a savior to the community of Bulawayo. I have what it takes to deliver. I think I'm the change they really want. I'm bringing some fresh ideas into Bulawayo. We need to move with the times. We are in the 21st century now. We really need to change. So lots of things have to change. So I'm bringing a change. I'm taking the Bulawayo to be abreast with the entire world, as it were, in terms of technology, in terms of relations, in terms of the way we've been doing things. So I have so much to offer on the table that I can promise. So I really promise to walk the talk. And it's unfortunate at times with the previous administration that is outgoing. there's been so much, people have lost faith in the system. But I think I'm here to revive the system, to bring life, breathe life into Bulawayo once more. I have what it takes. Together we can make it. Together we can make Bulawayo once more a city that was the apple of everyone's eye. And above all, Bulawayo will be clean once more. Bulawayo will be litter-free once I get into that office. Because at the moment we have a problem with one shift that is working during the day. So I'm looking at proposing to implement the cleaners to come through and do night shift, so as to minimize the issue of litter, especially in the CBD. So I have what it takes. So as well as the issue of decision making, I'm coming through as someone who will bring transparency, who will be responsible, who will communicate with the community, because we've been kept in the dark with whatever happens in the boardroom of council. So no one is actually bothered to engage us as a community or to give us a feedback. So that's what I'm planning, to come through, to communicate whatever deliberations are made on the council level to the community. So I avail myself as a servant, not as a politician, as a servant, as a leader, to work for the community. I really have to walk the talk. I know it's easier said than done, but I believe deep down Bulawayo can be resurrected again. Together we can make it. So I'm calling upon the community of Bulawayo to, especially Ward 12, to rethink, to come through, and I'm willing to work together with them. Together we can make Bulawayo the sunshine city, the beloved of the cities in the entire Zimbabwe.
Now let's talk about your campaigns. Maybe when are you starting to do your campaigns as Zimbabwe African National Congress?
We have since started in fits and starts. But we will pick up the momentum maybe come this Thursday. We have lined up some in the near future road shows, some door-to-door campaigns. But at the moment, we've been doing it on a down low. But come Thursday, we are picking up and upping up our game.
But how is also the response from the community, from where you come from, 112? It's a new party, people are not used to it. Are they not confused of South African ANC? How's the response like from 112 residents?
So far, people are excited, especially for me. I'm the face of Ncube, as it were. I've been a citizen for quite a while, since birth. And people are so excited. And the good part, I've been in a position where I've actually poured out my heart concerning my stance, concerning my decision to take up the office of a councillor. So people are so excited, and some of them have lost actually hope. And some people actually have uttered sentiments to the effect that they will be voting once more, by virtue of me being one of the contestants. Hopefully they will honor their obligation.
Mr. Pro, thanks so much for your time. This one for coming to the Breakfast Club. Thank you. Well, they've been watching the Breakfast Club. My name is Brighton, and my guest this morning was Rietson Phiri, coming from Zimbabwe African National Congress, contesting for the councillor under Ward 12 under Ncube constituency. Thanks so much for watching, and follow us for more programs and more election updates. Do enjoy the rest of the day.